for a long, long time. Are very excited about it. We'll have a short presentation here. Following, we'll have a couple photo opportunities. For the media, we'll do a short Q&A with Coach here off to the side after the second photo opportunity. And then you guys, I know a lot of people have a lot of well wishes for him and Mary, and probably some questions for both them and for Mike. So at this point, we'll go ahead and get started with Mike Thomas.
Kent, and thank you everybody for being here today. Welcome for what is really an exciting day for the Fighting Illini family. A day in which we'll recognize an individual who arrived in Champaign-Urbana in 1975, fell in love with the campus and the community, and in turn the campus and the community fell in love with him. An individual who believes in giving back to the community is as important as winning basketball games. An individual who, if he ran for mayor in this community, would win in a landslide. An individual whose spouse, Mary, is as beloved and as much a face of this community as her husband. An individual who in his 21 years of leading the Fighting Illini men's basketball program became the winningest coach in school history with a style that was both disciplined and tough-minded, just like the coach. Matter of fact, he's the all-time winningest coach at 2 schools. And let us not forget, this individual also had some high-flying and high-scoring teams, like the 1989 Flying Illini, who still to this day are one of the most exciting basketball teams to watch in NCAA men's basketball history. His run, especially in the 1980s, established Illinois as a national power. An individual who built a foundation for the Fighting Illini men's basketball program that included the birth of the Orange Crush, which we would all agree is the best men's basketball student support program in the country, and the Rebounders Booster Club. An individual who will be inducted to the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame this November. An individual who, if you still don't know who I'm talking about, is known for his orange blazer and the Lou-Do. So he told me last week that the Lou-Do is now called the New-Do. An individual, along with his spouse Mary, will now become lifetime members of the newly renovated State Farm Center Courtside Club, Club 53. An individual who I, like many others, have great affection and love for. And an individual whose name from this day forward will be prominently displayed on the court at the State Farm Center. That individual is
my notes are quite a ways down here, but I think I can read them. And every time I get up to speak, I always like to check things out. At New Mexico State, no, this is not working, is it?
It's not on.
It's not through the system, so you just have to be.
Okay. At New Mexico State, I was going out to speak to the College of Engineering, and so I want to give a little something extra. I spent a lot of time working on it, trying to do a decent job. I got out there, it was in the barracks, out in the desert, and there's no lighting. So I had to go back to bold speech. So things like that will happen. Anyway, Mike, I want to thank you for this great introduction. Thank you also for arranging this special media conference and announcing this unbelievable honor. I never imagined that my name might someday appear on the floor of this renowned building. I'm humbly impressed. I want to thank all of you for coming. Now, we appreciate your attendance. You know, I've gotten to know Mike Thomas pretty well over the last 5 years, and I know something about him. He doesn't pay his bills. He stayed in the house 4 months, and I never did get a check. I'm still waiting. I heard he wanted to marry. He's going to do. Finally, he's going to volunteer to pay the utility bill. He didn't do that. So, maybe we need somebody like that for an athletic director. But anyway, I've known him. We've gotten along really well, and You know, this summer, I didn't know until a couple of months ago that I had some health issues, and so Mike has been great about that. He's talked to me personally, he's called me, he's texted me. Even when they were there a week and a half ago, he texted me. And so that tells you a lot about Mike Thomas. He's a very caring guy.
Can you all hear?
I can.
She wants me to talk about it. Okay, I'll try to talk about it. Anyway, Mike, they had a great gratitude for making this honor so possible and so precious. Some of you are unaware that I was athletic director of 2 schools for 10 years. And it's a tough job. I found that out. And so anytime you're athletic director, you're going to have a few problems along the way. And I had my share. And you just do it. It's a tough job. You know, whatever profession you're in, you're going to have problems. And so you become a problem solver. That's what an AD and a coach has to do. You have to be solving problems. But I want to talk about Mary's been with me for 61 years. And she was my head coach and partner for those years. And she's been she got a bigger hand than I did. But anyway, and at New Mexico State, that's the way it is all the time, because, but she's been very instrumental in any success that I've had in my career. But I want you to know this. She backed off up here because, but at New Mexico State for several years, she's been very active in everything. So she is a star down there, and she's had every prestigious award you can give out. But probably the most impressive, and the one she likes the most, is the honorary Doctor of Laws degree that she received from New Mexico. It's quite an honor. But we appreciate the loving support that we have of their family, including our children, Lou Jr., Lori, Lee, and the grandchildren. When I came here in 1975, we had very little support. As a matter of fact, there wasn't many things going for us. We'd have bad teams, had been to the NCAA one time in 24 years. We didn't have recruiting going on. The outstanding coaches in the state were against us because for 2 years in a row they wanted a high school coach. And so when I was hired, they definitely were against me. So the one thing we did that I thought might have helped us, we got together, we knew we had to do a good job in the state of Illinois. A lot of players went here. So I had a great assistant staff all through the years that I was here. And I said, well, here's what we're going to do. Back then you could go 7 days a week recruiting. And I said, we're going to get into 400 high schools. We know we can't recruit other people, but we're going to build up the relations. So we exceeded that. We went into over 500. And that year we signed 2 players that, they weren't great players, didn't play that much, but at least we got started and signed a couple of freshmen. As you know, today those massive efforts paid off, and gradually we reaped the benefits of that. But it took everyone working together, and it starts with the Board of Regents, the faculty staff, the student body, Alumni Association, Orange Crush, and all the others. There are a lot of them that had a lot to do with what we're doing today. As I said before, I had a true team effort to achieve success here. My coaches, many of them who played for me, worked long and hard hours to make it possible. They made several sacrifices for our team. By the way, Dorothy Dangwood, our administrative assistant, she's here today. She kept us in line. Dorothy Where's Rod? Raise your hand somewhere you are. Rod. He's back there. Many years ago, I was, to give you a little bit of history, I was teaching, coaching at Las Cruces High School. And the president of Hardin Simmons called me. Let me back up a little bit. I taught math with his son at Las Cruces High School. So when that job opened up, his son said, why don't you call my dad and get that job? I said, they won't hire a high school coach. So I didn't do anything. So about 2 weeks ago, his dad, the president, called. Now, he got my attention when he called. So I went down to the interview, and going down, I thought about a lot of things. I thought maybe since the president called me that I'd have a pretty good shot at the job, and I pretty well had my mind made up on what I was going to do. Well, that morning, 10, 12, 14 of them, the board interviewed me, and I thought it went pretty well, and they said, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll get back with you in a couple hours. You can do whatever you want to do. A couple hours, they came back and said, Coach, you're a coach. You have the job. I said, well, there's one stipulation. I thought about this a lot. All through my career, I coached nothing but black players. You have no players here. You have no white players at all. He said, well, you haven't been in the university. And so I told him, I'll take the job if you'll integrate. Now, all these board members, they didn't expect that. They looked around, rolling their eyes, and I don't think they liked what they heard. And so the chairman said, Coach, we'll have to get back. Well, they met with the president. The next day, the president got the board together, and they agreed to do it. So that's how I happened to be at Hardin Simmons. I wouldn't have taken the job otherwise. I had another one waiting. So I was pretty demanding at that point. And so anyway, everything is probably a mistake because, as a matter of fact, I might as well tell you, I haven't had a good job. I haven't had a good job. When I went to Las Cruces High School, football coaches were coaching the team. They were having fights, couldn't do anything. Finally, we started winning there. The Hardin Simmons job was one of the worst I ever done. Probably a mistake of taking, but it did work out. New Mexico State, they were 4-22. They had beat the rivals in 15 years. No gymnasium. When I went there, we built one, but it was a bad job. Now we're going to talk about Illinois. It wasn't exactly the best job. So anyway, I haven't had good jobs, but it's not unusual to get bad jobs because usually you get it because the coaches before have been fired, but that's not always the case. Some of the time you get a good one. But as I look back, I can't believe how much good and at times great talent that we had throughout the years. You don't win without talent. We had so many great players, and time after time, when you get players going to win, you can't win without. I don't care how good a coach you are. John Wooden, I played against his team a few times, and a great coach, but he always had a great talent. The ones who have the talent, they're going to win ball games. But there are a lot of things that helped us to win, and we looked at our star players just like, well, the last man on the team got the same credit and the same attention that the best player on the team, and I think that's the way it has to be. If you can't have favorites, we've never had them. As a matter of fact, if I had 2 or 3 star players, I would go overboard and discipline them and not worry about that last guy. You don't have to worry about them, worry about your top players, because if they don't have good attitudes, you've got a problem with your team. But I really feel that I think it's a mistake taking this job because it's so far down. And I'll tell you this story. As a matter of fact, I'd never applied for a job after the first year. I never applied for a job, and the rest of the time they called me. Cecil Coleman, the AD here, called me one morning, and I knew him. He knew me because he'd seen the teams playing. We'd been in AD meetings and all. And he said, "We'd like you to come up for the interview." Well, I felt pretty good about it since I'd been in there. Would you believe that morning, Wade Walker in Oklahoma called me? And he wanted me to come in for an interview. I said, well, Wade, after I go to Illinois, I'll come in. No, you leave here, you come here and visit relatives, you can come. I want you to come here first. So I went in there on Tuesday, and they brought the board into Tulsa, and so the board left, and he said, well, we'd like to have you, here's what we pay and all that. So I thanked him for that and went on. So I called Mary after the meeting. I said, now, we've been offered the Oklahoma job. It is a great job. The coach just left the pros. He's got all his talent. He got a new facility. Got all the money. I'd be going home. Now, I'll tell you about Illinois. It's in shambles. They haven't had a good ball club. They haven't had good recruits. I went on and on. But I'm going to call you back on the way to Illinois, and you tell me what you think. So I called her back. I had an idea. Anybody would pick Oklahoma. So I said, well, what do you think? She said, Illinois. I said, what are you basing that on? What are you basing that on? She said, well, that's my home state. So that's how it worked out. Now, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might want to ask.
Coach, this might be a good time for a photo opportunity.
Okay.
And maybe we have our other coaches here with the orange jackets. Why don't you guys join us? Before we move that over, Mike, can you move the easel over?
Just the one?
John, can you help him there? Move that, and then you guys two on each side.
Okay. Okay. Two on each side.
Yep. You guys close in.
Here you go.
Get in there tight.
We like each other?
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like a barbershop quartet.
Mike, that's good. Could you guys button your coat just like Mr. Thomas did, please?
Top button, Jonesy?
Yes.
You're such a stickler for detail, Jonesy.
Politician, bro.
Ties are straight, what do you
Ties are
think?
good.
Ties
Your
look.
tie is not straight.
Uh-oh.
Mike can help you.
There we
Mike.
Okay, got
There we
it.
go.
Good. All right.
This is good.
All right, gentlemen, right here, please. That looks great. Good. Thank you.
Did you get it, Rob?
Got it.
Okay.
I'm going to have Coach sit right here. For those of you, if you want to talk to Coach, this is the time to do it right up here. We'll create a little bit of space there.
By the way, so much more handsome these guys, I didn't even
Coach, how do you feel?
Of course,
Hey, fellas, you have to hold it up there.
what?
Well, I was going to keep it back a little bit without your mask on.
Well, okay.
He could put his mask on too.
Well, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Of course, being at Illinois, you'd have to feel. And of course, I feel fortunate to get this on, and it means a lot to me, and I hope the fans enjoy it.
How do you feel personally? I mean, how's your health?
Well, to have such an honor, you have to feel great about that. This is a super institution. I enjoy working with everybody at Illinois, and it's good to be a part of it, so it's a great feeling.
Lou, did you like seeing the orange blazer in the logo?
I've seen a lot of courts named after coaches, but I've never seen anything like this. Whoever thought of the jacket or the coat being on the floor, that was a great idea. The fans will enjoy that. And I'd like to find out who did it because it was a smart thing to do.
What was the first time you wore the jacket? Do you remember the first time you?
Early in my career, I don't know. By the way, when I came here, the head football coach was pushing blue. And so I don't know for some reason we decided to push orange. Well, what we did, we met with the Orange Crush in the living room. They were selling us. We started the Orange Crush. And so we had 60 shirts made, passed them out, and maybe 10 shirts. Of course, we only had 3,000 for a small game. But I kept pushing orange, and early in my career, I started wearing the orange coat. And you didn't see much orange. We kept working at the Orange Crush, and the rebounders really helped us in. It got better and better. And now when you walk into the State Farm Center, you see a sea of orange. So that's gratifying for me.
Just again, your reaction to the unveiling of the logo and to think that every Illinois team's going to play in your court from now on.
Well, and I hope they have trouble playing on my court. Now, it's not mine, it's our court. It wouldn't be named if we didn't have all the fans and everybody pushing for it. That's why it was named.
What a special moment.
Oh, yes, very special.
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Coach.